Miranda Baker, who's going to give us some more circumstantial evidence, which, you know, goes to the case. I'm going to operate with the theory that maybe Brian Laundrie had something to do with the death of Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito. Petito, not Rick Pitino, but Rick Petito. Gabby Petito, Gabby Petito, Gabby Petito. So, Gabby Petito. We have Miranda Baker here who's going to give us brand new information. Miranda Baker is a hiker. Her and her boyfriend's hiking. They give goddamn Brian Laundrie, the, you know, boyfriend or the fiancé of Gabby Petito, they give him, he hitchhikes on the 29th, August 29th. So to go back over the timeline, September 11th is when she was reported missing. September 1st is when Brian Laundrie gets back to Florida from Wyoming, probably. August 29th. Now this is interesting. August 29th, the 30th is when they get the so-called last text, which they think he sent to throw them off, that they were in Yosemite. No service in Yosemite. So if he was there the 29th, then he's just hitchhiking and shit, just wandering around over here and over there. So he's going to say that Gabby Petito is back at the van working on the website. She's back at the van working on the website, and there was a lot of crazy, so there's more circumstantial evidence. I'm going to show you the whole clip, but I'm going to tell you what I got out of it first, okay? So Gabby, the last time we last heard and seen Gabby was the 24th and the 25th, okay? And then August 29th is when this Miranda Baker is going to pick Brian Laundrie up. The 29th, August 30th, the day after, is when they're going to get that, you know, Yosemite, no service at Yosemite text. Now, the time when they got arrested, or when they called the police and there was like a scuffle and there was some shit, right? There's some problems, right? Clearly there's some fucking problems. August 12th is when that happened. Now, they're going to patch things up. Seemingly they're going to patch things up, and then 12 days later, you know, is August 24th, that's when she's going to be last seen and heard. August 29th is when, you know, Brian is going to get picked up by this hitchhiker. August 30th, the day after, is when he's going to send that probably bullshit text, and then September 1st, you know, 2 days after that, he's going to be in Florida. And so it's literally impossible that he was with her if he was in, yeah, that's a bullshit text. I believe the family on that one so much. And then he drove her van back to the thing. So where the hell is she at? And then they were sitting there, okay, so what do we find out about Miranda Baker? Several things, okay? So this is in Wyoming. So they believe it was in Wyoming. That's the last contact. Some national forest. I mean, if you want to go search, you can find it out. But it's in Wyoming. And, so you got Brian Laundrie, who's walking around with a backpack, hiking boots and shit, and he's got a little scruff, but he looks clean. And he's going to say that he's been camping out, you know, in the woods forever. They were camping on some off-site thing, and that Gabby was back, you know, at the van, which, you know, why is he hitchhiking if they have a van? But she's back at the van doing some website work. He has been hiking. He only has this little backpack, and he only has just this one little tarp. So he's got this backpack, and he's got this one little tarp, and that's, you know, he said had been camping for days. So Gabby's doing something at the van, and he's sitting there camping, so they're separate, right? He's doing the camping, and she's doing the website at the van. What are you doing hitchhiking? And he only has this tiny little backpack. So if you've been backpacking or if you've been camping out for days, how come you got this tiny little backpack? Maybe you just left everything there and just kept the thing. Or maybe you're, you know, distributing bodies and shit, you know. Maybe you're trying to feed the body to the goddamn bears and wolves and shit. And, you know, they didn't say nothing like that, like blood or nothing like that. So okay. We're going to find out from Miranda Baker several things. That he's going to offer $200 for a ride to go 10 miles. $200 for a ride to go 10 miles. Motherfucker's desperate, and you know he's like basically giving you an offer you can't refuse, right? It's only 10 minutes. Why wouldn't you take $200 fucking dollars, right? So $200 for a ride. It's weird. It's a $50 trip, right? And then when they said that they were headed to Jackson City, because, hey, where are you guys headed? Oh, we're going to Jackson City. Oh, shit, no, I'm not going there. No, you got to pull me over. So immediately he freaks out, right, when they said that they were going to Jackson, whatever, Jackson Hall, Jackson something. And then they said they hurried out. And he hurried out of the Jeep, and then they said, what are you going to do now? And they said, oh, I'll just hitchhike with somebody else. So you're out there camping, and I'm not sure where he went to hitchhike to or what he was trying to do. Maybe just get supplies or some shit. But then freaked out about going to Jackson, right? Don't want to go in the, in the town where there's going to be people and cameras and shit. No, can't do that. So very circumstantial. Seems like he's doing, something with her body. The idea that he's super clean, I don't know what to make of that. Maybe he just, had some cleaning stuff or whatever and just took a bath. The van, I think he's still got the van somewhere, right? So he's got the van and he's got all the backpack and the camping equipment. Was he camping for several days? No, he hid the van somewhere. And then maybe he thought about camping, but he wasn't camping. He was, burying a body, most likely, right? So, let's see, what else? Okay, she says that he was super clean, wasn't dirty, didn't smell. I did think that was a little bit weird because if you've been out there, you're out there for 5 days, all you got is a single tarp. By yourself, you're hitchhiking, you got all this cash. Oh, I just brought, a tarp and a shit ton of money. That's all I brought out here. Where's your fiance at? Oh, she's back at the van. Why are you hitchhiking? Oh, the van's broke down. You just left her there? Why wouldn't you? Oh, so she'd watch after the stuff? She's gonna, protect all the stuff? And then he had said that they were camping along Snake River, which, I don't know, maybe they just knew Snake River and there's just something to say. And then that's it. So the backpack wasn't full. There was just a tarp in the backpack. He's super clean. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow, a partial beard. He's got some scruff, which means he hasn't shaved, so maybe he was out there, but probably in the van, right? So he's super clean. He's not out in the woods. And he only has a tarp. Yeah, you would be dirty as shit. So, yeah, none of this story makes sense whatsoever. This is super fucking weird. Almost as if, and then they also said, almost like as if Brian Laundrie, murdered his fiancée and then hid her body. Crazy. And then we got to respect the criminal's rights. Respect his rights. Respect his rights. No search, no arrest. No search, no arrest. We can't make a search arrest. We don't know where the hell she is. She hasn't contacted anybody for days. Fucking put 1 + 1 together, motherfucker. Who else could it be? In fact, just get a search warrant that says we're going to search everybody's houses that may be connected with this case to see if there's a dead body in their house. Maybe, and there's clothing, blood. God damn it, they've given Bobby Laundrie all the fucking time in the world to, So, Brian Laundrie, hitchhiked alone. Okay, without further ado, here's Miranda Baker.
This is critical information, and she has spoken to authorities already.
Hi, my name is Miranda Baker, and on August 29th, my boyfriend and I picked up Brian at Grand Teton National Park at 5:30 at night at Coulter Bay. I'm hoping this can help someone identify him because I saw him from TikTok, which then made me call the authorities, and my boyfriend and I have been in contact with a bunch of different people to help piece together different parts of this case, but we picked him up at Coulter Bay, like I said, at 5:30. He approached us asking us for a ride because he needed to go to Jackson, which we were going to Jackson that night. So I said, hop in. He hops in the back of my Jeep. We then, proceeded to make small talk, but before he came in the car, he offered to pay us like $200 to give him a ride, like 10 miles. So that was kind of weird. He then told us he's been camping for multiple days without his fiance. He did say he had a fiance, and that she was working on their social media page back at their van. Then once, in conversation, I brought up, we're going to Jackson. He freaked out. He's like, nope, I need to get out right now. Pull over. So we pulled over at the Jackson Dam, which I don't know if you know Teton Park, but it's not very far from Coulter Bay. And if this does reach people, I can post pictures of exactly where we were. We picked him up and the whole route or whatever, and screenshots of the timestamps. We dropped him off at 6:09 p.m. on August 29th. He kind of hurried out of the car, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go find someone else to hitchhike." And we're like, "Okay." It was a weird situation. So when we picked him up, he was wearing a backpack, he had a long sleeve pants, hiking boots, and he had scruff. But he didn't look dirty. For someone who was camping for multiple days, like, he didn't look dirty, he didn't smell dirty, so that part was kind of weird. And I'm just really hoping that they find her, and this helps someone, like, remember seeing him or, you know, something like that. To clarify a few things that people are confused on still, when he asked to ride, he has to go to Jackson, which, if you're familiar with the area, a lot of people call Jackson Hole Jackson. So that's why I said yes to giving him a ride. But you think any good hiker would know south and north. We were going south out of the park when he said he was camping north. He had told us that him and Gabby were not camping on a regulated campsite through the national park, that they were camping basically out in the middle of nowhere along Snake River. This is key information. He said that he had hiked for days along Snake River, but when, like, looking at his backpack, it wasn't full, and he said all he had was a tarp to sleep on, which, you think if you're going camping for days on end, you'd want food and a tent, and he had none of that, and like I said, he looked clean and didn't smell bad. So this is a view of the whole journey with Brian. So that's the top at the park at Coulter Bay, and then we drove him to this dam right here. Then at the dam, we dropped him off at this little turnout, and he said he was going to walk across the street to the parking lot, which was full of people, to continue hitchhiking and look for a ride, because he freaked out when I said Jackson Hole. He said we needed to pull over, even though Jackson and Jackson Hole are the same thing. It's the same town itself. This is the text I sent to my mom at 6:09, right when he got out of the car, saying I was okay because she was freaking out. This is at the park, or at the pickup location, and we were taking a shower. We then walked across, and our car was parked on the left side of the picture, and he talked to us, like, right in the middle. And he was talking to my boyfriend the entire time, but, like, I was the one actually talking, and he was, like, not frantic, and he was very nice, very polite to us.
Is that it, or is that it? Oh, God. Sorry about the... Okay, that's it.